Sup, you beautiful bastards? Hope you had a fantastic Monday. Welcome back to the Philip DeFranco Show, and let's just jump into it. And the first thing I want to talk about today is our BAMF of the day. Actually, our BAMFs of the day, multiple. Also, quick note, there's a lot of controversy, some misinformation, a lot of craziness around the story, but let's focus on the good part first. At the heart of it is this young kid, Keaton Jones, and all around it are all the people openly supporting him. And you might have already seen this video over the weekend. It blew up on Twitter like very few things I've seen before. Everything Tennessee tweeted out this video of Keaton talking about dealing with bullying.
Just out of curiosity, why do they bully? What's the point of it? Why do you find joy in taking innocent people and finding a way to be mean to them? It's not okay.
What do they say to you?
They make fun of my nose, they call me ugly, they say I have no friends.
What'd they do to you at lunch?
Put milk on me and put ham down my clothes, threw bread at me.
Is it just you?
Yep.
Or is it other kids too that feel that way?
Say it's other kids too.
How's that make you feel?
I don't like that they do it to me, and I for sure don't like that they do it to other people, because it's not okay. People that are different don't need to be criticized about it, because it's not their fault. But if you are made fun of, just don't let it bother you. Just stay strong, I guess. It's hard. But it'll probably get better one day.
That is so heartbreaking. It's the kind of heartbreaking that messes with your breathing as you're trying to talk. But on top of it being heartbreaking, it is also inspiring. As Keaton's going through this horrible experience, he wants to let people know, one, it's not right, but two, people that are experiencing this, that they're not alone. But then it goes right back to heartbreaking, because you see him, hear him say it gets better, but then you can tell that he has those doubts. But that said, the reaction to this video was swift and it was loud. Everyday people and celebrities sending massive amounts of love to Keaton. You had Chris Evans inviting him to a premiere, Haley Steinfeld asking if he wanted to come to the Pitch Perfect 3 premiere as her date, several other experiences, but mainly just massive amounts of support. And so much has already been said about this, and Keaton will most likely not see this, but for anyone going through something like this, or anyone who will ever go through something like this, please be aware and fully know something that it appears that Keaton also knows. This is about the bullies, not you. The problem is with those pieces of garbage, not you. And the really unfortunate reality a majority of the time is those bullies probably have been or are being bullied in a different way. Sometimes it's a parent, sometimes it's a sibling, sometimes it's just one of the other kids, but it happened in the past. And so if there is something that we can learn from this moment in time other than just retweeting, if you're being bullied, try to reach out to people that can help. If you see someone being bullied, let them know they are not alone and try to help them. And most importantly, because I am a true believer that it all starts from home, if you think that you have an asshole kid, please sit down and talk to your asshole kid, because a majority of the time, everyone else has to deal with that kid. Do not be a passenger when it comes to the growth and development of your child. And a big part of this is, while this video went viral and you have all these celebrities reaching out and everyone cares now, eventually, like with every story, focus shifts. New stories come out, people are going to start looking to the next thing. And if changes aren't made, in the long term, nothing changes, either for Keaton, because those bullies are still there, and the countless other children that are currently in or will be in Keaton's position one day. Their bullies will remain as well. But all of that said, much love to Keaton, much love to people going through situations similar to Keaton, and my hope through all of this is that by all of us seeing something so heartbreaking, we try to make the future a little less so. Also, actually, last second update to this story, there is now some controversy. Some people are now going after Keaton's mother. People have been sharing posts from Kimberly Jones's page, some featuring the Confederate flag. 2 weeks after Charlottesville, a post that reads, "Dear butthurt Americans, if you aren't bleeding, no bones are sticking out, and you can breathe, stop crying. For the love, some folks clearly never picked a switch. And before y'all start talking to me about metaphorical, emotional, financial, or historical blood and brokenness, don't join a group." See, some people saying that it's hypocritical of the mother to share this video of her son. People saying her post doesn't seem really open, really kind. Also, that Facebook page has since gone private. We've also seen allegations from MMA fighter Joe Schilling. He said, "Look at her Instagram post, she's just running a money scam. Really sad and disgusting." And then shares what he says is a DM conversation with the mother. Although a big thing to point out is I'm not sure he's actually talking to the mother. The first picture on that account that shows people, including a picture of Keaton, is from yesterday. So honestly, it could be anybody. But in that DM that Joe Schilling shared and has since blown up, the person claiming they're Keaton's mother says, "What happened to us whites sticking together and helping one of another against the predator?" Schilling responds, "LOL, you dumb cunt. I got a viral video for your dumbass LO fucking L." And they respond, "Please, can you delete that, please?" But it's very possible that that's not Keaton's mother's account. Laken Jones, who is Keaton's sister, she has responded saying that's not my mom's Instagram. Hers is private and she hasn't been posting anything. And when looking into it, even that gets confusing. There is a private Instagram account that has 126,000 followers, goes by the name of _TaylorMadeQ. It has a picture of the family. If you take a look at what that Instagram page looked like before the most recent changes, it looks like it's a different person, not Keaton Jones's mother. That's strange. I've also seen people critical of there being a GoFundMe for this family. I do want to point out there it was started by a third party, and also I kind of don't know why people would donate to the GoFundMe. I mean, to the people offering cool experiences for Keaton, I think that's great. But to the people donating money, I mean, there are anti-bully organizations. I'll link to some in the description down below. There have also been people claiming that Keaton said the N-word and that's why he got bullied, although I've seen no confirmation whatsoever that that happened. The closest thing to proof I've seen are people then sharing photos of him next to a Confederate flag. And so now you have people wondering if they're gonna be celebs that pull back now, if they should reconsider having sympathy, and my response to that is, this isn't about the mother to me. Is she a hypocrite? Is she not a hypocrite? That to me doesn't affect Keaton. And just in general, I'm of the mindset of the sins of a parent shouldn't be the sins of the child. And I probably think that because I'm so unlike my parents. I love them because they're my blood, but that was very much on purpose. And if anything, I hope that this can be an educational experience. Probably wouldn't hurt all of us to be a little more open, a little more civil with one another. But from that, I want to share some stuff I love today, and today in Awesome brought to you by Postmates. Postmates, of course, fantastic delivery on demand app. You want something, you open the app, you select something from a store or restaurant, they deliver it to your house, your business, your wherever. You can order drinks on the app. I ordered horchata, which I had never had before. It is amazing. It's fantastic. Sometimes you use the app to save some time. Sometimes it's just you want to be responsible, you want to be safe. Have someone bring the drinks to you. Oh, and best of all, if you want to try it out, go to postafranco.com or just click the link in the description down below. Download the app, be sure you use promo code PhillyD and you will get $100 in free delivery credit. And the first bit of awesome is we got a brand new trailer for Ready Player One. I loved it just because the trailer seemed to be slow enough that it actually seems to show the character when he's in the Oasis. And I think about right now, I'm 90% just so excited, and the other 10% is just saying, please don't suck, please don't suck, please don't suck. But we'll have to wait till March 30th to know if it will or not. Then fans of Jessica Jones rejoice. We got a trailer for season 2. It comes back on March 8th, so prepare yourself. Then we got a badass trailer for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It's an animated Spider-Man movie. It is sexy looking, but don't get too excited. It's coming out Christmas next year, so you're gonna kind of have to wait. Then, thanks to Wired, we got The Last Jedi cast answering the web's most searched questions. We also had those beautiful bastards over at Life Noggin asking the question, what if you didn't have bones? Also wanted to share an episode of Hot Ones that has now become one of my favorites. Logic came on, it was fantastic. Then, a bit of awesome, I promised I'd mention when the day finally came, and of course I always like to mention this before talking about it. I'm an advisor and investor in props, which I talked about several videos ago. I let you know that because if this does well, I benefit from that, and you should know that so that it's not weird. But I'm mentioning it today because the props token sale has finally begun. It's up on CoinList and Republic Crypto, so I'm just letting you know I'm not advising you on what to do. I personally genuinely think it's cool. So yeah, there was that. And if you want to see the full versions of everything I just shared, the secret link of the day, anything at all, links as always are in the description down below. And then let's talk about an infuriating update to a story we covered in January. You may remember, and I'm going to take my time with this so you remember their faces. Back in January, Brittany Covington, Jordan Hill, Tesfaye Cooper, and Tanisha Covington were arrested for brutally kidnapping and torturing a man on Facebook Live. Back in January, the victim had disappeared. The family said that they would receive text messages from his phone claiming he was being held hostage. And the next thing they knew, there was a Facebook Live video that showed the 4 black teens cutting an 18-year-old white victim's scalp with a knife, forcing him to drink toilet water, punching, kicking him, laughing at him as he was bound and gagged in an apartment in Chicago. Also, before anyone says, why'd you have to mention race? It appears that race was a huge part of this attack. During the video where all of this is happening, the suspects are heard saying, fuck white people, fuck Trump.
Fuck Donald Trump, nigga, fuck white people.
Also, the victim of this horrible attack had mental health issues, including schizophrenia. He was reportedly able to eventually get away because his attackers left him alone for a little bit. This because they went to confront neighbors who had complained about the noise. The 4 suspects raided the neighbor's apartment, they stole their property, but while all that was happening, the victim fled. He was found by officers and treated at a hospital for cuts to his head, face, body. He also had a stab wound in his left arm. The 4 teens in the video ended up getting arrested, charged with aggravated kidnapping, a hate crime, aggravated unlawful restraint, and aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. Additionally, 3 of the 4 were also charged with residential burglary, and 1 was charged with possession of a stolen vehicle. Also, since we're coming back to the story, I want to once again mention Chicago Police Commander Kevin Duffin. While this gruesome video drew condemnation from many, including then President Obama, you may remember Chicago Police Commander Kevin Duffin said, quote, although they are adults, they're 18. Kids make stupid decisions. I shouldn't call them kids. They're legally adults. But they're young adults and they make stupid decisions. To Duffin and anyone who has this argument in a situation like this, regardless of race, who's what, kids make stupid decisions should not be something you say when you have 4 people kidnapping, seemingly torturing, at one point stabbing. When they're shouting stuff that sure as hell makes it seem like it's a hate crime, the response shouldn't be, well, kids. That kind of response out of Kevin Duffin makes me go, what the hell was Duffin doing when he was 18? But here we come to the big updates. Brittany Covington, the woman filming, the woman narrating the attack on video. She's been behind bars since her arrest in January. On Friday, she pled guilty to aggravated battery, intimidation, hate crime charges. And as part of the deal she made, prosecutors dropped additional charges, including kidnapping. And while County Circuit Judge William Hooks called the crime horrific, he then sentenced Covington to just 4 years probation. She's also been ordered to complete 200 hours community service. She's prohibited from contact with 2 of the other suspects. She's been banned from all forms of social media for 4 years. Hooks also told Covington he could have imposed a prison sentence, but added, "I'm not sure if I did that, you'd be coming out any better," adding he hoped the strict terms of probation would put Covington on a more productive life path. But he did warn her that she would face prison time if she violated any of the restrictions. And my response to this is, really? Her punishment is community service, having to stay away from 2 people, and not using the thing that she used that exposed that she committed a crime. That's the punishment you give a participant of a hate crime involved in the beating and stabbing of a young man with mental issues. How can you expect to do damage to bigotry if you are not attacking bigotry on all fronts? How can you expect people to respect the justice system when you provide none? When this woman and potentially the other 3 who will remain in custody and their cases are still pending, whenever they wind up in this position once again, if we're lucky enough that they get caught, please, Judge Hooks, know to an extent that blood, that pain, that crime, a little of that is on your hands. You have failed the people you were supposed to protect. But that said, of course, this is the Philip DeFranco Show. I give you the situation, I definitely give you my opinion, and then I want to hear from you. Whether you agree, you disagree, I'd love to know your thoughts in those comments down below. And then let's talk about the explosion and chaos we saw out of New York today. Early this morning, we learned police were called to a reported explosion around 7:20 in the morning there. The explosion taking place in an underground walkway at the Port Authority subway station, and the suspect was headed eastbound when the bomb went off during what would have been peak morning commute hours. As far as the explosion itself, it was captured on transit system video. The area quickly became chaotic. Panicked commuters started scrambling to evacuate the area. Responders found the suspect responsible. He was later identified. But the good news, if we can even really use that phrase in this incident, is that the damage was minimal. There were 4 reported injuries, including the bomber. None of them were said to be life-threatening. The suspect reportedly had burns. He had lacerations on his hands, his abdomen. The 3 victims were taken to the hospital. They're being treated for headaches, ringing in the ears. And soon after this, Police Commissioner James O'Neill gave out more details on this incident.
Preliminary investigation at the scene indicates this male was wearing an improvised, low-tech explosive device attached to his body. He intentionally detonated that device.
Later, when O'Neill was asked if this attempted bomber was connected to ISIS, O'Neill responded he did make statements, but we're not going to talk about that right now. But at the same time, we did have New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio calling it terrorism.
Let's be clear, as New Yorkers, our lives revolve around the subways. When we hear of an attack in the subway, it's incredibly unsettling. And let's be also clear, this was an attempted terrorist attack.
Now, as far as the attempted bomber himself, and I'll just make this quick note for anyone that is new to my videos, when a mass killer or someone that attempted a mass killing does something, we don't show the names, we don't show the faces. We can still talk about their background because we can get answers and solutions from all the information. But as far as accidentally promoting these pieces of garbage, I won't do that on my show. Also keep in mind, we're early into this story. This is an ever-developing situation. But what we are seeing is that this bomber is reportedly from Bangladesh. He's been in the country for 7 years. Authorities saying he entered the United States on an F4 visa, which is a family-based visa. He reportedly lived in Brooklyn. According to a New York law enforcement official, the suspect told police he made the device at his workplace. As far as motive, there have been multiple reports, so I'd feel more comfortable waiting for an official announcement. And as of recording this video, that's where we are. Now what happens next? Hopefully we get more information. Most likely we're going to see Trump sound off on immigration, especially because the attacker was here on an F4 visa. That's where I'm going to end this one. And I do want to ask you whether it be this last story, the first one, anything that stood out to you in between, what are your thoughts? I'd love to know, and it's what makes doing this show for me so interesting. And that's where I'm going to end today's show. And remember, if you liked this video, you like what I try and do on the channel, you want to support this independent media, go to DeFrancoElite.com, sign up, become a member. Early videos, some exclusive videos, exclusive live streams like the one we're going to have tomorrow, exclusive posters, exclusive mugs, all the good stuff. Also, if you missed the last Philip DeFranco show, you want to catch up, click or tap right there to watch that. Or if you want to watch the newest behind the scenes vlog, click or tap right there to watch that. But that said, of course, as always, my name's Philip DeFranco. You've just been filled in. I love yo faces, and I'll see you tomorrow.